Hello, all you Waffle House lovers. This is McCoy. Welcome back to another episode of the BLT podcast. I am joined by the insert American restaurant here.
Poke Air 2004. And it's funny you say that since I barely even eat at chains.
Well, you should eat at more fast food chains in America since...
No, I shouldn't. I literally had Crohn's.
Oh, that's right. You have the Crohn's disease, so you can't eat a lot of fast food chains. Meanwhile, I'm the embodiment of eating at fast food chains. Good. Hello. Alright, hey everyone. So last time, we covered week 3 recap and week 4 predicts. Today, week 4 for a recap. So week 4, PokeArt, what can you say about the week we just had?
It was a week of all time.
No, god damn it. I shouldn't have asked that because that was always the default answer. Well, except for being a week of all time, there were definitely a lot of games that are worth talking about and not just called games of all time, woman.
But isn't that why they're worth talking about?
Maybe. I don't know. But, in any regards, it is time to review some games and check some of the matchups that were decided, shall we? Shall we?
Oh, yes.
Alright. First off, we got the Phantom Trap tying the Resort City Rufflets. This was an interesting...
Oh, god damn it, we're up first?
Yes, you are up first. You're the top bunk. You're the top bunk of this bed, and you're the first lineups first. Yeah, you guys have a, kind of a week of... Not just a week of all time, but kind of an interesting week, because you were down, 5-2 going into Sunday?
Yeah, and at the start of the week, we were down 0-3.
Yeah, how the frick did you manage to pull off the tie?
Well, you see, Meekboy, I think it's pretty clear we would have won the week had the first 3 games not been full of hacks. Okay, maybe not all of them, but I think 2 of those had a fair amount.
Well, we'll go through the games one by one to see what the frick happened. First off, we got 3D beating Frozoid. Did anyone expect this result?
Well, it was a pretty close game, and Frozoid choked.
Well, it was a pretty close game. Both sides looked great. They both looked even from the get-go, as 3D got to kill Primarina using the King Gambit, who then lost to Frozoid's Raging Bolt in the early turns, which, was kind of a neat little sequence there. Then, turn 16 was really the decider, because Frozoid kind of wasted his Terra on the Goldango against the Gouging Fire, which left him susceptible against the Iron Moth, which 3D used at the end to kill it, and Ogerpon for the win.
I'm not totally sure if he still won that had he preserved the Terra, but if the Iron Moth never used if the Iron Moth never uses Substitute, then yes, Ogerpon simply won if Terra was preserved.
However, it did use Substitute. It did get off the Substitute, and Goldango had only to break it, not just, chip it down so that Ogerpon would have the safe kill. And yeah, Iron Moth just won. What?
What do you... I don't recall it using Substitute.
Oh, what were you saying then?
I was saying if it used it.
Oh, well, if it had used Substitute, then yes, it would have lost, but still, Iron Moth still would have won regardless.
What? No.
Well, you explain it.
You can't say it would have won regardless after saying a scenario in which it would have lost.
Right. Contradictions aside, yeah, 3D won with an Iron Moth. Starting off great, aren't we?
Yes, and that was a game that actually had no hacks. We simply choke.
Yep. Next up, we got the other SVOU game. We got JoJo Wee losing to VK. Again, did anyone really expect this?
I think you mean, did anyone not expect this?
Yeah. Yeah, did anyone not expect this to happen? I don't know. Well, the game itself was pretty, like, you know, it was a game. It was a game. Let's just put it outright. VK's Iron Moth won against JoJo's early on with its Quark Drive booster energy, outspeeding and getting to boost Fiery Dance to break the Dragonite's multi-scale before succumbing to the Earthquake. And then VK's King Gambit performed well, first tanking the Fiery Dance from Iron Moth at turn 1, then, later, standing up to Lando's attacks before crit killing it with Sucker Punch to die alongside it. It's very nice. Then it was up to the Primarina and the Halucha to clean through the rest of JoJo's team, with the former moon blasting against the Terra Fairy King Gambit for a massive chip, and the latter Terra flying to finish the job and breeding Dragonite for the win.
Yep, this was another clean and just nice cut and dry game.
Yeah.
In which the better player won.
Well, the bullshit starts happening when we get to the next game.
Oh no.
The bullshit starts happening when we got the SV Ubers game where Richard Millie Plain actually won against 7U992.
Okay, but this is the BS I like, because it was finally in our favor.
It was still bullshit. There was still bullshit that happened. You cannot deny that there was still some crazy hacks happening in your favor.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's hacks.
Dumb luck.
Look, I don't know what the calcs are, but basically there was a lot of rolls and ranges coming into play in this game.
Well, first off, we got Calyrex Ice, which seems to be friggin' like the pattern for Richard Millie Plain. He really likes that Calyrex Ice in Ubers. And it worked well under screens, though, as he safely Swords Danced and Trick Roomed to beat Kyogre and Necrozma, giving him the early edge. Terra Ghost Koraidon then beat Landorus, but lost to Terra Arceus on a whim by turn 14. And then, let me scroll now to the eventual thing that happened. Endgame. We saw Miraidon getting hard switched on turn 15. Kind of it was kind of a risky play because Necrozma was going for Earthquake, but it was still
I'm surprised you didn't mention other things that came before the end game. Why are you just jumping there?
Which one? Which one are you referring to?
Like, you want to talk about crazy rolls and stuff? Well, why not talk about the fact that Calyrex used high horsepower on Necrozma? It lived on like 1 HP.
Oh, that's right. Well, that was the start. That was the start of what was to come later, because that ended up being kind of a bad omen for 7U992. Let me get to that. First off, we got the Miraidon switching into the Earthquake by Necrozma. Yeah, okay.
What do you mean a bad omen for him?
Well, let me get to it. Let me get to it. So yeah, this one kind of a risky play, but it's still worth calling out, which is nice. Then turn 19 happened as the Electro Drifts from Miraidon failed to kill Necrozma. Turn 19, living on 1 HP. And then it got killed by a Photon Geyser. That was part 1. Part 2 came at 3 turns later, at turn 32, where...
I mean, about that, though.
What?
About that, though.
What? Are you gonna defend the hacks?
It's not, I don't think that was a super bad instance of hacks. It literally did. several percent less the previous turn. It was clearly not a guaranteed kill. It was clearly a roll
against light screen.
And we do not know, and I do not know the chances of the roll. I don't know if the previous turn was a low roll. Maybe the next turn was a high roll that simply failed to kill. Basically, it was not guaranteed. It was clearly not guaranteed. It was clearly a roll.
I guess. But it was still very unfortunate for Slovenia 992 because 3 turns later, at turn 22, the Arky's extreme speed happened when Miraidon was setting up agility, causing Miraidon to live on 1 again. Richard having another Mon that lived on 1 HP to kill the Arceus and then kill the Koraidon at the end to win.
Yeah, when we agility'd and we're only left to be on 35%, I'm like, oh god, we lose. But then it lives on 1, and I'm like, what the frick?
And then the Arceus died, and leaving the Miraidon to deal with the Koraidon to win and one-shot it.
I would personally like to attribute this win partly to my cat.
We know who to blame now.
He was there at the time, and he is a good luck charm.
Well, why?
I was petting him a lot, and he was a purry baby.
Where was him?
And that brings good luck.
Well, where was him during the next game? We got Just Franco beating Piyush.
He wasn't there for that.
Well, we know who to blame. We know who to blame now. But this one was an interesting game. Piyush did say that it wasn't a very good game, but I thought it was fine. Both players looked even. Both players looked decent.
Piyush could have played that better.
Could have, but, it was against Franco. It was a tough opponent in the first place. But Piyush
very well could have won if it was played better.
It was.
He was not scared of Franco at all.
All right, fair enough. Well, he did kind of made an oopsie around the beginning because he didn't tear a Slowking early. Kind of costly.
He said he forgot to tear that.
Yeah, kind of proving to be kind of costly in the long run because Slowking would have been a reliable asset for tanking. Especially later on in the game. Cobalion versus Hydrapple, that sequence was pretty abysmal, IMO, because Cobalion got paralyzed twice in succession, allowing Hydrapple to set up the nasty plot, before it missed Draco Meteor twice in succession for a chance at 3 kills. Like, what the hell happened there?
Damn.
Like, what the hell happened there? That was a ton of, unfortunate circumstances that came about. And, the rest of the game kind of looked even for the most part. Piyush utilizing the switches more effectively, activating Justified on Cobalion a lot, and making his Ogerpon a reliable win con, while Franco pressurized and claimed some kills, like Koopa beating the Slowking and Hydrapple killing the Zapdos. And the end game saw that Franco played his Suicune well at the end, and Drapple beating Piyush's Ursaluna through Calm Mind and Scald at good ranges in order to win.
Yeah, I feel like we should have saved our Terra for Ursaluna. I feel we probably won if we did, no?
It's possible. What Terra
would have gotten rid of its weakness to Suicune.
Yeah, if it had Terra,
and it was already tanking those hits pretty nicely, all things considered.
Yeah, normally it had been tanking a lot of the hits well. It's just that having that safety belt of a Terra being gone so early on kind of cost him in the long run. Yeah, Terra's a very useful...
Yeah, and what did he... And what did he actually end up tearing again? It was Ogerpon, right?
I think it was Ogerpon with the embody aspect.
Which wasn't exactly a useless Terra, but like...
No, it wasn't.
I do feel like Ursaluna might have been better in the long run.
Yeah, using that Terra is very crucial, especially when it comes to, the end game where the thing definitely matters. And having that safety blanket definitely helps. Next up, we got SVRU. We got high naming is hard, losing to Lime. So, well, I lost on this one. I didn't trust Lime enough. Apparently, he won.
By the way, Mikoi.
What?
I know we're done talking about the Ubers game, but I actually just calced for what happened with the extreme speed turn.
Yeah.
It was a roll.
That's unfortunate.
Apparently, Richard used a Miraidon with a lot of HP investment.
Mm-hmm.
And E-Speed did about 33 to 39.
Oh.
33.4 to 39.7.
Oh.
So yeah, it was not a guaranteed kill, but it was a pretty high chance.
Oh, he got low rolled hard, rip.
Yeah.
Alright, so after that, next up we got high naming is hard losing to Lime. So again, unfortunate there that I underestimated Lime. However, both players.
Yeah, Lime just played better.
Yeah, Lime's matchup was better. He played a lot better. It was just better. It did look kind of even for the most part. Okidogi used close combat to kill Jirachi, and Lime using Gastrodon to crit kill it back with Ice Beam, which seemed like overkill. Terra ghosting Gastrodon proved to be useful against high naming as hard Cyclizar's spin attempts, which I thought was nice. Raikou, though, MVP in this game, setting up the Calm Mind against Terra Fairy Cyclizar, and standing up to its attacks before killing Torterra with Scald.
That was Terra Blast.
It was Terra Blast. Oh, it was Terra Blast, not Scald. And,
Yeah, they have the same animation for some reason.
Well, most of these have the same animation as, their counterparts. Terra Blast does too, Terra Psychic having Psychic animation, and Terra...
Yeah, but that was just normal Terra Blast.
Oh.
Without Terra.
Oh, that's weird. No, that's weird. Yeah, in the end, Lime's matchup was just much better, with Moltres outmatching Duraludon, leaving Cyclizar to battle Wo-Chien and Moltres, who had healing moves alone, but, the added pressure of having 2 Mons against 1 Mon was, very unfortunate, giving Lime the win.
Yeah, Lime just played better, despite the fact that we actually got fairly unlucky that game, if you look into it.
What do you mean?
Consecutive flamethrower burns.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess that's the one thing that I found very unfortunate of. But he still pulled off the win.
But also the fact that he got the consecutive flamethrower burn while we couldn't get a single paralysis from discharge.
He still got the win.
Plus, Flame Body didn't trigger very much.
Well, don't rely on the 30% chance. Instead, rely on the 10%
Well, yeah,
chance.
but that is 30% is much higher than 10%
rely on the
twice
10% chance instead. Don't rely on the 30%. Don't rely on the more chances to get burned. Just rely on the less, and you'll get it. Guaranteed. Trust. All right, next up, Stories beating Wadley. One of the... Not really a surprise, but,
Well, it wouldn't have been a surprise no matter who won.
It wouldn't, but looking at the teams, bro, the teams. Sun for Stories, Rain for Wadley. Guess who won?
Look, we may have misplayed the end.
Stories was very aggressive in this game, I will say. There was a play rough miss by Klefki on turn 2, which was unfortunate. However, it was unfortunate. Leligant's Quiver Dance strat, living through Tornadus' Weather Ball, was pretty interesting. Then Venusaur living through Ludicolo's Ice Beam to kill it with Sludge Bomb later on, and Palmot Terra Electricking to Double Shock for the final kill, and ultimately won.
Yeah, so I think we should have switched out. I guess we should have switched out. We should have switched out Basculegion when Flygon came in. Not like Wadley could have known it had the Flygon had first impression. No, wait, actually, he may have known. I mean, he literally built the Rain team in preparation against the Sun. He may have known that it had first impression. He's played against the team before, too.
So what happened?
So yeah, if by chance he did know, he probably should have switched it out into Klefki.
I guess to sack it and then leave it to Basculegion to pull off the rest of the game. I get it. Alright, next up we have SVPU, the last game that was played, if I recall correctly. It was played 30 minutes before the deadline, you said. I wasn't awake for that, but yep, it happened.
Actually, less than 30 minutes because they were both a bit late.
I was a bit late, but still they played. Drip Legend versus TGA. It was a fairly short game, though. TGA's Slowbro put in the work early, at the early turns, beating Drip Salazzle and Flamigo, wasting the Terra Water against the Heracross's Megahorn, when it was already low in the process at turn 17. Then,
you thought it would knock.
Oh. Well, okay, that makes sense. Then used Florges to set up with Combine and sweep the rest of Drip's team with Psychic Noise and Moonblast to win.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna guess that Drip Legends Wo-Chen was not Leech Seed or something, cause couldn't he have Terra'd a lot earlier and just Leech Seeded?
Yeah, it might have. Yeah,
although I guess Psychic Noise would have possibly blocked out the Leech Seed.
Yeah, it would have been very unfortunate, but yeah. That was the
I don't know how Leech Seed interacts with Psychic Noise.
No, I don't think it. I don't think it's. I don't think.
What?
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't recall exactly the moment. No, not the moment. The instance of what happened during Leech Seed versus what is the effects of Leech Seed being put against Psychic Noise? That's what I was trying to say.
That's what I asked.
I don't know. Long and the short, I don't know.
Then just say that, please.
Alright, next up, we have LC Starzema versus Elfuzon. So, what happened in this game? What?
A little bit of hacks and a little bit of bad MU.
Yeah, Ama had quite the better matchup here. Nummel providing good support early on by flame charging against the Tinkatink for better speed, then burning the Mienfoo at turn 10 with a nice
there was no clear Numel answer in this.
There wasn't, no. Not even Axu can do it. Terra Steel Marini became MVP. Iron defensing for better tanking, and Surf and Sludge Bomb for consistent damage. Tanking against the Coughing's Pain Split, and beating the Axiu's Mean Foo, and beating the Axiu and the Mean Foo for the win. Where the frick was that?
5 physical attackers into an Iron Defense Marini. Fun.
Yay.
On top of that, getting the high roll on Sludge Bomb right when he needed to. Fun.
Yeah, that of course hurt. That did not help Elfuzon's case, but regardless, the Terror
I think you mean it simply lost him the game right then and there.
Yeah. Well, it was the Sludge Bomb. It was the Sludge Bomb that would hit. Unfortunately, hit too hard, I would say.
Like, you know, look, well, you know what turn I'm referring to, right?
Yes, it was the Sludge Bomb that killed the Mean Foo.
Huh? I'm talking about Axiu.
The Axiu. I'm scatterbrained today. What the frick?
Yeah, I'm talking about Axiu. Did you notice that it was a high roll when it killed?
48%.
Yeah, the previous time it hit, I'm pretty sure it was the average roll of, where's the replay?
43. 43-ish.
Exactly. So I guess it had a chance to kill, albeit a low one. It was probably like a 6% chance, because that's usually what the odds are to get the highest roll.
And he got that. Alma got that.
At the exact turn he needed to, yes.
Yeah, poor Elfuzon. At the end.
In a already bad matchup that we actually had a shot to win without that.
Right, and it was very unfortunate in that regard. Ultimately, they got the win. Next up, well, you better be happy, because this is your last win. At least for this week. Loud winner, beating Aragon. Man, Aragon has been...
That game confused me, not gonna lie.
Man, Aragon has been having such a bad losing streak. I kind of feel bad. Alright.
I kind of feel bad too, but I can't feel bad this week.
Wow.
Because I wanted it to happen.
Well, he was left at a massive disadvantage at the start, because Icicle Crash missed Glamora on turn 2, missing the free kill, and Goldango setting up the nasty plot, which Loud Winner double targeted for the kill.
Wait, it missed Glamora?
Well, that was... Well, wait, let me check. Oh, wait, it missed the Iron Hands. Oops.
Yeah. It missed Iron Hands.
But, again, that's not the point. The point is that the double target on the Goldango was pretty... well...
It was good. It was a good double targeting.
Yeah. Dragonite then killed Chien-Pao with E-Speed. With Gouging Fire, got to perform at least one breaking swipe in order to neuter Ogerpon, but ended up dying to it. And then, Loud Winner just had a good enough position at the end to win. Like,
I gotta wonder, did Aragon not have Tailwind?
On his Tornadus? Probably.
I get that doesn't do much in the face of an E-speeding Dragonite, but against a booster energy speed gouging fire, that does seem kind of
useful,
important.
Yeah. It would have been useful, yeah. But, I think he saw the writing on the wall by that point, because he lost the Goldango. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, hell, I think he just kind of lost that Goldango even without the double targeting, because Well, if he didn't lose that, he lost the Chen Pao, and I mean, there's no guaranteed way for him to get a kill the next turn because he could just protect his mons.
Yeah. Which I get.
And if the Iron Hands didn't aim for Golden Go, it would have aimed for Chen Pao, and it would have healed a fair amount of that health back. And
right. Yeah. So it was still again, it was like at a massive disadvantage for Aragon at that point. So he really couldn't do much. All right, time for a game. You def.
Yep. I didn't say anything important. Just move on.
Well, time for a game you're so excited to cover again. You're so excited to watch again. Oh my gosh, Royal Reloaded versus Dunox. All right, so we got Royal Reloaded versus Dunox. Your favorite game of the week? Ah, fuck this game.
This game ruined my day.
Oh, fuck this game, man. I felt bad.
I was having a nice stroll and picnic in the park while this game happened, and then seeing how this game played out just ruined my day.
Fuck. I'm not even a rough light, and I still fuck this game. This is a game not worth seeing again. The Articuno was well played though on Royal's part, using the sub and tanking most of Toxapex's hits before breaking through its recover stalling whilst pivoting up for safe PP consumption. It seemed that Dunox had the win. Well scouted plays, Toxapex tanking the Enamor's superpowers, and just generally having kind of a consistent edge, getting rid of Articuno's Roost PP, which was good.
He did not have a consistent edge. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
We had to do a lot to actually gain an edge in that game.
But you still had it.
Eventually, but that does not mean we had it consistently.
Well, you look like you had the win. However,
yes.
Turns 59 and 60. Very, very crucial. First, there was the Toxapex that got freeze-dried and frozen. Then the next turn happened.
And look, I expected that. If you spam freeze-dry, odds are you're probably going to get one freeze at some point.
Then turn 60 happened, which the Primarina, it came out, used freeze-dry, and it froze again.
Pretty sure that was Assault Vest Primarina too.
Because it took 3 hits to kill it. But Primarina couldn't do anything. It just got frozen. He lost the momentum, lost the chances to kill Articuno there. Royal kind of safely outplayed afterwards, the Zapdos Volt Switch to beat the Toxapex to allow the Scarf Enamorous to get back in, getting the final kill on Greninja for the win.
He barely even needed to outplay. He just needed to play normally. And just hope we don't magically switch in Greninja.
Yeah. It ended up being, it ended up kind of a downer. I felt bad for Dunox in that game, because, my God, if those didn't happen, I'm not going to go into
If those didn't happen, I think we would have won the week,
She says that with the most shit-eating grin I've ever seen.
Wait, how'd you know?
I can just... The energy you radiate is giving me off that vibe, okay? From the way you say it.
Goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire. Alright, let's move on now. Let's move on without talking your games. Let's not talk about other people's games.
Okay, cool. Because I prefer talking about other people's games than talking about the Dunox game or any of the games we lost.
First off, SVOU, we got JJ beating Tear Acid in the Lore Society. versus the Skeletorges games. Tyr started off well. I'll give Tyr this. He started off well. Having the Terra Poison Darkrai beat through the Zamazenta was nice. But, JJ started to have the advantage as soon as he got to paralyze Darkrai with Clefable. And by then on, having Slowking tank hits from Iron Moth to do Future Sight and pivot to Dragonite helped him out. And then Gliscor just kind of cleaned out the endgame. Terra Fairying Goldengo to be immune to Dragapult's Draco Meteors to beat King Gambit, and having Gliscor tank the remaining hexes from Dragapult to kill it at the end and win.
The Terra Goldengo turn was interesting to me because I think it implied that Tyr either expected a switch or he expected the Terra.
He could have expected... Yeah, you're right. He could have expected either a switch or a Terra. Because, But, it was worth it to keep it.
No reason to Draco otherwise, so I kind of wonder which he expected.
Yeah, excuse me. So, yeah, that would be the case, and ultimately, that proved JJ to be enough to be healthy, and ultimately won. Nice.
Yeah, sorry, we can't be high on you, Tyr Acid. You were facing JJ.
Yeah, unfortunately so. Next up, we got Avarice beating Enzo Nana. Hooray! Avarice getting a win again in a tournament room tour of all things. Turn 7 though was pretty notable here. First, because the Terra Ghost Ursaluna, it lost to the knockoff +3 bulked up Okidogi. Oh no, sorry. What am I saying? It tanked a knockoff from the Okidogi in order to kill it with Headlong Rush. That was nice. Overall, though, rest of the game, Avarice just had the consistent edge, expertly predicting most of Enzo's plays, outplaying Encore Dragonite and Wish playing with Alamomola and Rillaboom at turn 18. That was a very good, nice sequence there. Very, very well done by Avarice. Okidogi beating the King Gambit and Dragonite, and Rillaboom closing out a sweeping Poison Darkrai and Ogerpon to win. Any other thoughts?
Not really.
Yeah, well done, Avarice. More of that, please. Next up, we got Ice Master versus Skyu, which Ice Master won. Also, to point out that the Dirges beat the Lures this week. Not very good for the Lures, but, good win for the Skeletorges. Ice's Terra Fairy Koraidon worked wonders in the beginning, able to beat Sky's own Koraidon with Scale Shot, then dodging a Will-O-Wisp from Arceus turn 3, giving him kind of a distinct advantage.
Oh yeah, didn't Skyu get kind of unlucky in this?
Yeah, it did. The first off was the Will-O-Miss from against the Koraidon. Then, Solar Beam Miraidon knocked out Tinglu, and on turn 14, Sky missed a Dragon Tail, which would have knocked Miraidon out when Ice used it to its full advantage before dying to the Life Orb at turn 17. And then,
unfortunate.
And at the end game saw the Arceus ground using the Liquidation to kill Ho-Oh, winning Ice that game.
So, I gotta ask, is Liquidation, that's not standard, is it?
I don't think it is. I've seen it a couple of times, but not, they're not like common. They're just,
Well, Well, I've seen solar beam from Miraidon a couple times, but I haven't seen it outside of Ice Master using it. I don't think.
Solar beam Miraidon is kind of just an Ice Master's strategy. We've seen it in this.
So is that
last week
so?
as
You
well.
think that's the case with Liquidation Arc Ground?
No, I've seen other players use Dragon Dance Liquidation Arc Ground a few times, but it's not very common. It's kind of a niche, but it is a good strat.
What is it for? Is it for Ho-Oh?
I guess it's for Ho-Oh. I guess it's for Tinglu. I guess anything weak to ground, anything weak to water, basically.
Oh yeah, wait, it's probably for Gliscor.
Gliscor too, yeah. Well, then again, you have Ice Beam. I don't know. Then again, you're physical.
Yeah, but Ice Beam doesn't really much else other than Gliscor. The issue, I think.
Yeah. Next up, yes, VUU, we got Trogba versus Just Drew, where Drew won.
Unsurprisingly.
Well, the start of the game, Trogba did kind of started well. Empoleon proved to be kind of a good wall against Tornadus and knocked off its heavy-duty boots. And even poisoned it with a Gastrodon Sludge Bomb at turn 9. Drew, though, started to play better around turn 13 when Ursaluna was switched in and started to set up very well against the Chestnut, despite the leftovers being knocked off. And it managed to catch an Earthquake switch in against the Skeledirge at turn 16. And, after being stalled out by a Slack Off for a bit from the Dirge, Ice Punch froze it at turn 22.
Well,
yeah, there's the Ice Punch freeze, and then there's the kill. That's the only way to beat a Skeledirge at this point. Aside from, getting a weak.
I don't think it was winning that 1v1 anyway. I think the most it would have gotten out of it is just decent chip on Ursaluna.
Yeah,
with,
a couple of Torch songs.
Torch Song.
Yeah, a couple of Torch songs and Ursaluna would have been chipped. Yeah. Drew's Skeledirge then managed to stall out Mandibuzz, setting up its own with Torch Song, despite being toxic, and killed Gastrodon soon after with the same move. Drew's low kicks carried him throughout the rest of the game, acting as the revenge killer, despite getting its heavy-duty boots knocked off, tanking Chestnut's body press via Terra Bug, and killing the rest of Trogba's mons, including a Sucker Punch on Latios for the Drew win. Yep. Now, Drew, picking up a good win. Nothing much else to say. Let's move on to Ampha versus Fellyburn. Well, this game wasn't surprising. We knew how to pick Felly, and we won. The matchup wasn't really that surprising, to be honest. Felly just kind of had a better suited matchup, as you can see from this team. Much better than Ampha's.
Oh, didn't Ampha get a very unfortunate crit?
Yes, we'll talk about that. First off the games, we got Felly consistently switching from Jirachi's Wish plays in order to keep the team healthy, keep the team safe, and using Barraskewda to dish out a lot of damage, beating Hippowdon. Then comes turn 26 when Rhyperior crit killed through Cabalion's Iron Defenses. As you can see...
Yeah...
As you can see, right around here, the Iron Defense play, and then the Earthquake, managing to kill Cabalion using Right. Then managed...
Right off the bat, too.
Yeah, it was starting to set up Iron Defenses, and then boom. Then it managed to tank Necrozma's boosted Photon Geyser in order to kill it with Earthquake. Then tanking Sicklezar's knockoff, it still wouldn't die, to kill it with Earthquake.
I should point out that it wasn't just a boosted Photon Geyser. it was a sword stance Terra Psychic photon geyser, and yet the Rhyperior tanked it, and yet the Necrozma couldn't tank the normal earthquake. Goes to show you how much of an actual monster Rhyperior is.
Rhyperior is a monster, especially in RU. Yeah, Cyclozar had the opportunity to kill it with like a Draco Meteor or a U-turn maybe, but a knockoff still wouldn't kill the Rhyperior, as it killed it with Earthquake.
Yeah, you just say that, Info, but that's kind of on you.
Woof. Woof. Yeah. The Terra Water Barracuda then came in to kill the Namorous, winning Felly that game. Wow. Yep. Alright, next up. Actortix beating Danny. Is this like Actortix's first win?
Oh my god, now that you mention it, it might be.
Yeah. This might be Actortix's first win. And, you know, the match...
I gotta check this.
He won in week 1, rip. Alright.
Yeah, versus Slip.
Alright.
I don't think he's won a game since that. And then he beat Danny. So he's actually 2-2.
Good for him. Alright. Well, this was a short game. Actortix's matchup was supremely better than Danny, I'd say. Using Focus Energy Kingdra to kill Noivern. Air Balloon Lucario, being immune to Crocodile's Earthquake. Interesting. Okoing Lycanroc as well in the process.
I was honestly a little confused by that play.
The turn 11 switch-in, the hard switch to Lycanroc.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you have a full health Slowbro in the back, don't you?
Yeah, maybe he was expecting a switch of his own, but that wouldn't make sense, because Lucario is so fresh. So fresh. But yeah, the Reuniclus's Trick Room then worked wonders, getting the Spadef drop against Crocodile to Shadow Ball kill it, and Kingdra finishing off the Terra Fairy Slowbro in order to win.
Yeah, that Kingdra was a menace here.
Very much so. That Focus Energy strat is really paying dividends for Actortix. Good on ya. Next up, SPPU got Eternal Ocean beating Blood Ace. Ha! I actually got the predict right this time.
It was a close game.
It was kind of a close game. Turn 10 saw Eternal Ocean have the advantage by catching the switch-in to Tatsugiri, Okoing it with Draco Meteor. That was kind of like a crucial turn.
To be honest, that wasn't that big of a predict. I mean, because the Florgist was scarfed, and it was locked into healing.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why the switch wasn't actually that hard to predict, because like it's not gonna stay in and keep healing.
It's not gonna stay in. It's not gonna. Maybe I wasn't expecting the Draco Meteor. Maybe I was expecting Surf. The Storm Drain.
Well, yeah. When he switched in the Tatsugiri, he was expecting Surf. He didn't expect the
Draco.
He didn't expect the Draco to be called, and that he would, quote unquote, Draco into a Florgist.
Hey, he wouldn't.
But of course, it was a Scar Florgist.
So yeah, so he knew. He knew, kind of. So the Terra Normal Screamtail became kind of a reliable asset to Eternal Ocean. The Sub Boomburst strat was able to carry him throughout the second half of this game, chipping the Slowbro Galar and killing Bombardier before losing to Terra Fairy Florges. And you know, Bellybolt tried to stall towards the end. However, Eternal Ocean's Mons, he had more Mons, and they were well utilized against Houndstone's Poltergeist and Shadow Sneak. therefore winning the game by killing the rest of Blood Ace's mons.
In a serious game ender, but they all run Shadow Sneak, so...
They do all run Shadow Sneak, so... You know... And you know...
I honestly feel that the Scarf on Florges hindered Blood Ace a lot more than it helped.
Yeah, the scarf definitely. If it wasn't scarf, then he could have had like a safe pivot, where maybe he could have healed it a lot better.
Yeah, cause like it's good to outspeed and hit hard, like outspeeding stuff like a Tatsugiri to just outright kill it. That's good and all, but if you take the turn to lock yourself into healing, well, that's just a huge momentum killer, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that would be the case, yeah.
But at the same time, you can't not heal because you gotta preserve it, so... Yeah, I do feel like the Scarf did a lot of harm.
It was a lose-lose situation at that point, so Floor just would have died. He just straight up died. Alright, next up, SVLC. Yeah, Floor beating Tempo. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most people predicted Tempo on this one, but we both predicted Floor.
Yeah, y'all underestimate the Floor on this one. Because, he had a pretty, well, okay. The matchup, the advantage was given to Tempo early on for a bit, but it was still the advantage by killing both the Clement and the Lullaby immediately. But, the long game. You gotta think about the long game, because Floor had the better one because the hazard stack was real. The Stealth Rock and then the Spikes, that was good. Then Growlithe missed a head smash kill on the Numel on turn 9, giving Tempo a huge disadvantage as Growlithe would later die to an Earth Power.
I know the miss was unfortunate, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of on him for going for it because, like, he clearly demonstrated in the very next turn that he could have just killed it with Lullaby.
Yeah, he could have like switched it in and then used the Brave Bird immediately on the Lullaby. It's also Life Orb Lullaby.
Yeah, you're right. That's weird.
Yeah, why is it Life Orb? Is it just a purely attacking Lullaby? Interesting. Yeah, despite Tempo kind of outplaying the Shelder by Terra Dragoning the Mudbray to tank its Shell Smash boosted Icicle Spears. Then Surge Dance boosted Mienfoo, also killing losing the Voltorb. Axu came back in, beating Tempo's own Mienfoo with Scale Shot and Stomping Tantrum to beat Voltorb with the same Scale Shot for Floor to take the win.
Yep.
Yeah, it missed 1 point, but turn 20 proved that it can still kill. Especially at that range. That was nice. Next up, Exotic. Surprising yet again with another surprise win, this time over Railgun in doubles.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Exotic's pretty good.
Exotic surprising as all. Exotic, first one in OU against Velvet, and now winning against Luisin in doubles. So,
it wasn't really a huge surprise versus Velvet, though. I think a fair amount of people expected that.
Fair enough. Game started well off for Exotic, who used the Muse Trick Room to outspeed an Ice Beam to finish off the Landorus. And Iron Hands was mostly well kept in the back because Sword Stance Boost and Ice Punches, beating the Sinistcha, even standing up well to the Terra-Flying Archaludon, who was primed to be kind of a massive threat because Electroshot was doing a lot of good on him, and that Electroshot was doing a lot of good for Luisin, And it was nice that Exotic was able to scout the rest and have it and having the Farigiraf die, and then the Iron Hands would later kill the Dragonite with Ice Punch, which is nice. But yeah, the Archaludon was primed to be kind of a threat, but it also tanked the Draco Meteors and beat through its defenses. Oh yeah. Yeah, it beat through its defense as well, and then just beat it at the end. Endgame saw Volcanion and Rillaboom later. Endgame saw the Volcanion and the Rillaboom later. The Terranormal Ursaluna Blood Moon beat Qianpao and Pelipper through tanking Hurricanes and Ice Spinner, dishing out necessary damage for Exotic to take the win.
I gotta say, what surprised me about that game was the fact that it was Sash Pelipper. But that's not really what I was surprised about. I just found that kind of interesting. What actually surprised me was that Woodhammer from Rillaboom, without grassy terrain up, took it down to Sash.
Yeah, I mean, it's strong. Maybe a banded Rillaboom.
I don't
then
think
again,
so.
It's not. I don't think it's not. I don't think it is. Wait a minute. I don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure it used different moves. So I'm pretty sure it didn't show any sign of being locked into anything.
Yeah. Never mind. Waffling on my part. Yeah, the Woodhammer was strong.
Well, go check if you want by going to all the turns Rillaboom was in. Used Fake Out.
Used Grassy Glide.
Used Grassy Glide.
It's not a banded Rillaboom.
Not banded.
Choice Rillaboom. It's not a choice Rillaboom. But yeah, Exotic took the win. Exotic took the win from Louison.
That was a really close game in the end.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we got the monotype game. We got Siphicon beating Twinkay. See how this happened. Well, actually, the fairy team beat the water team, if I recall correctly. This was the fairy versus water team, and the fairy team won. Yeah. Tiffy loves his fairies.
Water was actually used in 3 out of 4 mono games this week. They won only once. Lost twice.
One of them was yours.
I know. You don't have to remind me.
But yeah, Siffy loves his fairy team. Siffy just loves that fairy team a lot. Klefki Light Screen was used to mitigate attacks while the Iron Valiant claimed the kills on Swampert and Volcanion. Azumarill crit Okoing. The Ogerpon switch in at turn 16 was nice. And then Primarina just tanking the extra sensory to beat Samurott and Greninja for the win.
I wonder if that crit on Ogerpon mattered.
I think it did. Honestly.
Well, let's take a look.
There was a switch in. It was a switch in, and then it was play rough, and then died to a crit.
Let's see.
Yep, I knew it. Yeah, everything else.
Not a lot, but it definitely did matter.
It did matter. Yeah, it did matter. After Iron Violet would have died, then yeah, Ogerpon was just free to sweep the rest of Siffy's team. But no, he died to an Azumarill play rough. Alright. Next up. Oh my god, right, this one. Now the rest of the matchups, you kind of notice they kind of decided. First we have a tie between the Trope and the Rufflets. Then we have a slight win from the Flameslinger Skelligers is beating the Lure Society. Then you get to moderate here, first with the Laxus beating the Stuffles, and then you got a 9-1 curb stomp. But we'll talk about that. The matchups were ascending in terms of, swaying the scoreboards for this week. Well, first off, we got SVOU, we got TDNT versus Ferenia. Well, this game was interesting. It was decided, but then they kept going for about 40 more turns, I would say.
Nah, it was more like 50 or 60.
God damn it, it was even longer. Well, it was decided around like friggin' turn 20 or 30 or so. TDNT's Ogre Pawn did work, able to call the Corviknight switch in on turn 12 and kill it with the Ivy Cudgel. And despite the burn, its Terra Water O-code through Darkrai before losing to Slowking via its own burn.
Ogre Pawn hits hard, what can I say?
Ogre Pawn, OP please nerf. You know, the rest of the game just didn't matter at this point because it was just left to the Garganackle, the Terra Water Garganackle, versus the Gouging Fire. It was just Breaking Swipe, Curse, Recover, Salt Cure, Earthquake, whatever. It went on for like 50 turns. And dance. It went out for like 50 turns of just nothing but this. Look at me scrolling right now. This is just how much that game. You really shouldn't watch this game sober because my god, this was long.
After the game concluded, I told my brother about it when he came in to talk about Mons, and he was absolutely disgusted by what I told him.
About the gouge. It was just a war of attrition, and not the good kind.
Yeah, he was absolutely disgusted.
Did he make the disgusted face? The pog face?
Maybe. And Miko, you know why that Gouging Fire wasn't affected by Salt Cure, right?
Not photosynthesis. Remind me?
It was... what's the item? I always confuse Clear Amulet and Covert Cloak.
Oh.
I think it was Covert Cloak in this case.
Yeah. That's right. It's Covert Cloak.
Holder is not affected by the secondary effect of another Pokemon's attack. Yep, that's the item.
Covert Cloak. OP plays nerf.
I dropped my pen.
Should be item of the year. Yeah, that game was decided. That game was decided early on, and they just had to prolong that for a real long time. What was not prolonged though was a really short game. IMO. Career ended losing to Mimikyu Stardust, which take that, Mimikyu Stardust haters. We got one.
Wasn't there a little bit of hacks in that one?
I don't know about hacks. It was just Mimikyu. I didn't know. Because Mimikyu just used that rain team really well. With an Overquill of all things.
Yeah, true. Even with that, I feel like there was a crit at one point. I'm not sure if I'm remembering right, but I feel like there was a crit that mattered.
Well, I'll go through it. First of all, it's the Overquill beating the Darkrai and the Ogre Pawn. Tornadus' Hurricanes breaking through Dragonite's multiscale and doing better damage output against the Iron Shreds was interesting. And
I think that thing was Specs.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it was doing a lot more. So yes, it would have been Specs. But yeah, I think this is the crit you're talking about, turn 14, where Iron Shreds got to crit kill the Skeledirge with Earthquake.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that did matter.
Yay.
Earthquake would have done plenty normally, but I don't think it killed.
Yeah. It's a fair chance. But yeah, and towards the end, we got Tornadoes just kind of outstalling, and the Raging Bolt just kind of ended off the Dragonite for the win. Not much else to say, right?
I guess not.
Next up, FC versus Layson, which Layson actually won.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, this game. Layson set up webs early with Rabambi, which allowed him to get speed advantages over FC's Arc Water, although I had trouble killing it with Necrozma, who was burned, and Zacian, who had to who it withstood its boosted Sword Dance close combats before killing it with Judgment. Which was interesting. Layson's Koraidon, though, was well kept, using its Scale Shot and Loaded Dice combo to beat Ho-Oh, even chipping with Low Kick against the Terrifier Calyrex Ice. It seemed FC had the advantage with the aforementioned Calyrex Ice working well under Trick Room against Necrozma and tanking the Arceus E-Speed to kill both, and Necrozma got to crit kill Layson's Koraidon with Sunsteel Strike, even though I don't think that mattered.
Wait, that was a crit?
Was it? Hold on.
I didn't even realize because I knew that didn't matter at all.
I was not bullshitting. However, Layson's Miraidon did pull off the reverse sweep. Agility boosting on turn 24 while FC tried pivoting around it to gain some leverage. I really thought that, that it would straight up go for the kill with Necrozma here. However, Layson picked a good time to agility boost, and Koraidon not being well equipped because webs were a problem. It got to a point where Miraidon just kind of like went, oh yes, this is a free opportunity. I'ma just Dragon Pulse everything. And Tingler couldn't do anything. The Ruination wasn't doing anything. The Earthquake wasn't doing anything because it was defense boosted. So yeah, Miraidon pulled off the reverse sweep and won.
I'm surprised you didn't mention the turn that may have lost FC the game.
Which one?
The high horsepower miss?
Was that crucial? I didn't
Yes? Very?
Okay, you explain it. Because I didn't know it because I thought it was...
You didn't have to.
Well, you saw it. It's right here.
It was literally on like mid yellow. It was gonna die to that.
41? I guess.
No, it was on oh yeah, I guess it was on 41.
Okay, fair enough. That kill would...
But it was also suffering from burn damage, so it probably would have succumbed to that.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, the momentum was ruined.
Prevented Calyrex from making the most out of Trick Room.
And it did towards the end, which, gave Layson even more of an advantage as it moved on. But, FC would have won, that end game with the Miraidon sweep. Yeah, that was very unfortunate. What else to say? Move on. Next up, we got Mimi Lucha beating Udon Girl. As much as you wanted to root for her, PokeArt, this was not surprising
at all.
It was a short game. Saw Mimi Lucha's Psy-Terrain team work well against Udon's team. Iron Crown beating the Tornadus and Slowbro after the Calm Mind booster energy boosts, and Poltergeist Shell Smash Stored Power strats, cleaning through Rhyperior, cleaning through Tinkaton, Halucha beating through Terrasteel, Hydrapple, and Minfu to win. Any other thoughts?
Nope, it was a very quick type of offensive game.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of the complete opposite, we got Trade versus Ars 9. Ars 9 actually won.
Trade just honestly had a better team that was that had a lot of that had like far better utility to deal with Arsenines.
Yeah, Trade won, and Trade honestly had the the advantage. Well scouted. Definitely well played here. For the first 40 turns, there was no kills because, the outmatching of the switch-ins proved work wonders for Trade consistently. He was doing damage. Pretty much every turn was damage counted, and Trade definitely took advantage and ultimately had more to do, which ultimately proved him to be quite the useful. It was just attacking every chance it get. Ars had a real hard time. Ars had a really hard time breaking through Trade's team.
Yes, but describing Trade as attacking every chance they got is just kind of flat out wrong.
Well, it was just attacking every turn. There was no.
What about the Wish Encore Jirachi? Hello?
Well, that was the only thing he got. No, not Wish Encore Jirachi. What are you talking about? It was Doom Desire Psychic Noise.
Oh, am I thinking of the wrong game then?
Yes, you probably.
Or wasn't it both?
No, it was definitely
Doom Desire. Oh, nope, yep. I'm pretty sure it had Encore, though. So, one of his mons had Encore.
It was Jirachi. One of them. It was just one against Slowbro, but that was only crucial against Slowbro. That's it. Every other turn, it was just attack. A kill finally happened on turn 47, where Ars used Psychic Noise against the Trade Cyclazar, who died to burn and sandstorm damage. Terra Ghost Cabalion was kind of a standout, and it did help Ars on the short term, as it was able to beat Hippowdon via the Terra Blast on turn 64.
Terra Ghost Cabalion is actually completely standard. I don't think I've actually seen a Cabalion of any other Terra, but Terra Ghost Special Cabalion.
The Terra Blast.
Yeah, that was interesting.
First time I've ever seen a Terra Blast on Cabalion that worked. Until it got killed by the Mean Shell on the next turn. In the end, Jirachi and Amoonguss were just a good pairing for the endgame, as they were able to take down the Slowbro and the Vileplume, ultimately picking up the win for Trade.
Yep, Trade just had much better utility to deal with what Ars had, especially having a Scarf Mean Shell to deal with the potential sweeper from Ars's side.
Yep. And that was very crucial on Trade's part, ultimately picking up the win. Next up, we got Skier Dude beating Ming.
That was quite a game, honestly.
Yeah, it was quite the game. The game of all time, as you would like to point out. You say that with every game.
No, that's not what I mean.
For this one? Yeah, okay.
If I meant that, I would have said that.
That's vague. Alright, Ninetales tried encoring Skier Dude's Talonflame early, locking it into Bravebird, costing him his Flygon in the long run. Okay.
Yeah, I was a little confused as to why he encored it.
I don't know why he encored and then switched into Flygon. I guess he wouldn't have had a better switch in regardless, but still, why encore? Terrifier Scovillain put in the work in this game, killing the Toxtricity and the Swampert. However, Inteleon did manage to beat it with its Specs Surf Under Sun.
That was not Specs.
Was that really normal ass Inteleon just doing the damage?
Mikoy, you're telling me a Specs Inteleon would outspeed a Scovillain with Chlorophyll and Sun?
Oh, that's right. Chlorophyll was out as well. but I didn't expect it to get the kill.
I think you should check Scovillain's bulk.
This is not that good.
It's worse than Victory Bell.
Oh, that's bleh. Ugh, gross. I checked it. Ugh.
And I know Victory Bell's a weird example to use here, because I don't think it's notoriously frail or notoriously bulky, or it's just not that notorious for its stats. So the only reason I use that as an example is because, well,
You're talking about
it's a fellow sun sweeper.
63. Yikes.
Yeah, this thing has worse HP and defenses.
Yikes. Bad. Well, Ming did try to come back with Memento play at turn 12 with 9 tails. to bring in Venusaur safely to start setting off with the growth spam. But Reuniclus managed to tank its Giga Drain very well to kill it with Psyshock with a crit kill. A crit kill on a Venusaur, which definitely didn't matter. Of course it did. But yeah, Inteleon.
I don't know, did it?
Did it matter? What do you think?
It's a Psyshock from a Reuniclus against a Venusaur that probably has no defense or HP investment. Are we sure?
Fine, it probably
that
didn't.
mattered at all?
Also, Reuniclus having high special attack. Yeah, probably didn't. But yeah, the Inteleon then came back at turn 21, beat the Sweeping Lilligant with another Terra Water Surf against a +1 Quiver Dance. Yeah, this Scarf. To kill Palmot as soon after winning the game.
Yeah, I really thought Ming had that between having, Palmot and a Quiver Danced up Lilligant against a lone Inteleon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was Scarf, and it was down to Torrent, I think, right?
Yes, it was Torrent. So.
Was it low health at the time?
It was red.
Exactly. So Torrent was up, and it was faster, and then Terra Water made it hit even harder, and it was enough to even kill that Lilligant.
Yeah.
And it naturally outsped the Palmot, even if that thing was Scarf.
Yep.
Which it might have been.
Yep. Next up, we got Let's Rumble, Shall We? Beating Druid. Well. One of the genuine surprises that we have. It's Hellray. I know Hellray's a good player in PU, but it's Druid, man. Beating Druid is not easy, man, especially in PU. Hellray's Hazard Stack proved useful in the long run, as he was able to outmatch Druid's team, who had to rely on bulk to basically prove reliable. The Hazard Stack definitely helped Hellray, though. Toxtricity and Golurk claimed most of the kills, the former using Throat Spray, and Golurk mostly using Poltergeist. And then Screamtail just closed out the endgame, using Terra Steel, Sub, and Calm Mind, and Stored Power to beat the Slowbro and the Belly Bolt at the end, winning Hellray that game.
Yep, that Slowbro couldn't do anything once that Screamtail Terra stealed and Calm Minded up.
Yeah, only...
Flamethrower was doing nothing.
Yeah, the Flamethrower was doing nothing. Screamtail just kind of tanked it with the sub and the boosted of Calm Mind to win. Just sweep
I do feel Druid missed an opportunity to rapid spin, but at that point, I don't think it mattered.
Nah, definitely.
I think he was just. I think perhaps he was just so paranoid of the ghost type on the other side that he didn't even attempt to.
Yeah, the Golurk was their looming presence. Okay, next up, Bleehay beat Hacker.
Well,
wow.
To be fair, it was Double Dragon into Snow.
Right. Right? Because, man, that team was, it was something else. Terra Ground Vullaby, immediately dispatching Glamet, earning Bleehay a good start. Despite being burned, it was able to beat the Mienfoo by a Brave Bird on turn 8. Which was very interesting. Terra Steel Axu looked to be a sweeping win con for Hacker, as it was perfectly set up under screens, and having the +2 Dragon Dance to go along with it, and having the sub. You think, Hacker may get this. But the Sandshrew was able to tank twice the Outrageous twice in order to break the sub, then finish it off with another Earthquake. And then Snover just kind of came back in and just double Blizzard in order to win.
Unfortunately, Hacker got a little unlucky in this game because Outrage locked him in for. He was locked into Outrage for 3 turns instead of 2.
I guess if we could have used. Well, okay, it he couldn't have used Iron Head against the Voltorb. That just wouldn't make sense. But yeah, the Outrage.
Yes.
But yeah, the Outrage play would continue on against the Sandshrew, who tanked it twice, and yeah, the being locked into Outrage at that point just was a detriment. And yeah.
If he was locked in for 2 turns instead, I think he won.
Would have to play with the confusion, but yeah, we would have won.
Well, okay, true, but point is, he had pretty good odds to win.
Yes, I will not deny that Hacker could have won if he had just gotten confused rather than being locked into one more turn of Outrage. Alright, next up, we got the doubles game. I want Otago to sit on me, aka the Cheesin' one, beating Akuru Kokyo. I think it happened again, Pokeart. I think Cheese has gotten to game.
That Cheese for ya.
Cheese beating Akuru again. Say 2 years in a row, man.
And as you can see, Cheese brought a unique team.
It was an Okidogi, a Latios, an Ogerpon, a Grimmsnarl, a Pelipper, and a Terra-Bug Archaludon.
Okay, well that's not the first time I've seen that.
It was a massive threat. Tanking the ground moves from both Glamora and Dragonite, because one was carrying Earthquake and the other was carrying Earth Power. It tanked both to Terra, and then caused massive damage to Awkward's team early on. Pelipper just provided the support by Tailwinding. Then Latios with its Surf Water Absorb combo with Ogerpon. Seemed like a nice strat until it was whirlwinded by Tinglu. In the end, though, Cheese had the better matchup at the end, despite Okidogi losing to Aerial Ace Dragonite, um, and Pelipper getting the final kill on Rillaboom, leaving Akaru with just a low health Dragonite and an Ogerpon, which he had to deal with in order for Cheese to get the win.
Yep.
Nothing much else to say, Cheese. Good job. Next up, SV Monotype. A game of all time. Crying versus Sword Barber.
Oh boy, this was a game of all time indeed.
What was once Tenebrasite versus Mata is now Crying versus Swordward's Barber. Fire versus Fighting. Great Tusk did manage. There was only really one notable moment here. Great Tusk managing to get a kill off of Heatran, but Flame Body activated the very next turn, as it died to Ogerpon the very next turn.
See, I wonder about this game, because if that Flame Body hadn't happened, would that Great Tusk have swept?
Maybe. Just out to Rocks, and then Headlong Rush the rest.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Also, it would have benefited from the sun from Ninetales, because, you know,
I assume something on Crying's team might have been Sash. Like, maybe, I'm thinking Ceruledge could have been, yeah.
Ceruledge, yeah. That's it.
But yeah, I feel like Great Tusk, if nothing was Sash, that thing could have swept Crying's entire team without that burn.
Yeah. It would have been a massive blow to Crying's team if the Great Tusk had Flame Body still not activate, still would have won. Also, the Zamazenta also as well. It was kind of a massive threat here.
Yeah, I was confused as to why he kept Iron Defensing at one point.
What what the Iron Defense play at turn? Oh, I get to turn to get Ceruledge.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, he couldn't have subbed because it was too low health. And I guess crunching would have activated the weak armor, making him a little bit... making Ceruledge a lot faster at the end. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think so too, but by that point, I think you just need to be able to kill it, no?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe just take the risk and crunch it. Yeah, that was really the only it. Crying's matchup was just a lot better. Ceruledge and Ogerpon just get most of the kills. And Crying just outplayed. Well done. Getting the win. Not much else to say. Let's move on now to the final matchup, where we got the Pangoros. Oh my god. Absolutely ass blasting, absolutely murdering, absolutely curb stomping the poor Lavender Laprases 9-1.
That's insane.
What the fuck happened? Things happened, but also not very good things happened. First off, SPOU, I think this was the first game. Yes, it was. Thiago versus Suzia. Well, Thiago started off well, dragon tailing the Kyurem to prevent it from early sweeping with Icicle Spear. Constantly.
I know you're talking about that game, but I don't think I was able to properly go into detail about how Sword absolutely choked versus Crying now that I'm looking at this end game.
Okay, fine. Well, we can add that in. Go ahead.
He definitely should have crunched, I think, because he had a full health Keldeo in the back, for crying out loud.
Haha, for crying out loud.
Because that could just come in, take a hit, kill it. Ogerpon can come out. Maybe it'd probably kill the Keldeo, which is fine, because then what Swordward does is he sends out either Iron Valiant or Lucario to either hit it hard with a. I assume this Iron Valiant was like mixed, probably.
Mixed defenses, mixed ball.
No, I meant mixed attacker. Why would it be mixed defenses?
Oh, I was thinking Zamazenta. Sorry. Go ahead, Iron Valiant.
No, yeah. And that Lucario probably has E-Speed.
Oh my god, you're right.
In fact, it did have E-Speed, and it did 56!
Why didn't you utilize it more?
And I guess this Keldeo didn't have Vacuum Wave.
No, I don't think Keldeo does carry Vacuum Wave. Secret Sword.
I think it does.
Secret Sword, Scald, something, Calm Mind.
I feel like, okay, maybe, I'm not sure, I need to check actually. Cut this out if it doesn't.
It learns Vacuum Wave.
Oh, I was spelling it wrong.
Bruh.
Couldn't it have used it? In just one?
I don't think he had it. In his set.
He couldn't have had it because he would have just won if he did.
Fine. Probably. That would be the case.
But yeah, even if he didn't go for Crunch with Zamazenta, he could have instead switched out Iron Valiant when Ogerpon came in, and switched in to like Keldeo or something.
Prevent it from, getting the attacks in and getting, okay. Fine, fair enough, fine.
And then you can switch in like Lucario, and you can E-Speed, and then you can switch in the Iron Valiant and finish it off.
Okay. Seems like
Bro choked hard.
Seems like we here in the BLT podcast, we go in depth on why you choked hard.
Yes, and that is why Swordward's barber choked really freaking hard.
Well, alright. So going back to Thiago versus Suzia. Thiago started off well, Dragon Tailing Kyurem to prevent it from getting the early sweep with Icicle Spear, constantly Flare Blitzing with Gouging Fire, doing good damage despite being paralyzed with Nuzzle. Once Iron Moth came in, though, it was already over, as Booster Energy and Speed, plus Speed on Booster Energy, allowed it to outspeed Thiago's own Iron Moth to get boosts from Fiery Dance, allowing to Oko Iron Crown, giving Suzia the win. Bro had just an 11-turn play and ultimately won with the Iron Moth. Anything else to say?
No.
Moving on. Next up, we got Beleth beating Stareel. What? What? What happened? Well, oh my god.
Oh, you know what happened.
I do know
what happened.
I do know
I
what
know
happened.
what happened too.
I do know what happened, and this one was just very unfortunate. Both Mons who did Terra in this game, looked pretty good on opposing sides of the field. Stareel killed the Primarina with Terra Poison Darkrai, which was nice. But, however, I think Beleth got the better end of the deal with Gouging Fire, Terra. Terraferrying because it was MVP of that game, beating Landorus despite the taunt, and healing off any damage it took with Morning Sun, and also beating Kiram before dying to the Rillaboom. But then that final turn, man. That final turn was, because Ogerpon, let me pull up the endgame right here. After Dragonite's E-speeding attempts went foul, allowing Gholdengo to just safely kill it. Turn 29 hits. Ogerpon hits the field. Ogerpon crit kills. No, Gholdengo hits the Shadow Ball. Ogerpon crit kills the Gholdengo with Ivy Cudgel. RIP.
Yeah, and it seemed like Sterile was gonna win that had the crit not happened because Shadow Ball did 50 when it hit.
Yes. It was a dead Ogerpon once Ivy Cudgel got the hit off. Gholdengo would have tanked that easily, and then Shadow Ball killed Ogerpon. If it was 50 again.
I don't know if there was any rolls involved, but
no. Don't take into fact of the rolls. It was just unfortunate that it led to that. It ended with that.
Yeah.
Next up, as viewers, we got Ainskrad, the beating poet. There was no surprises here. None whatsoever. Poet started off with a weakness policy Necrozma Duskmane, which beat Glamora, despite a crit, which easily healed off. And it beat Ains' own Calyrex with Proton Geyser. However, Ains' Arc Ground became the MVP of this game. Terra Watering to tank through Calyrex's Glacial Lance, and Substrats to live at 1% to do another Dragon Dance to beat it and break through Grimmsnarl's Reflect to kill it. I know I said a mouthful, but it was just a bunch of really good turns by Arceus, Groundwater, Terra.
And yet, Ainskrad called himself lucky. And where was this luck exactly?
Yeah, where was this lucky? It was just the dragon.
Oh, I was asking a genuine question.
Oh. Oh, I was also wondering that though. Where was the luck? I guess it's the rolls here because +2 Dragon Dance went through Reflect and killed the Grimmsnarl. The Grimmsnarl wouldn't have tanked that.
I feel that wasn't a roll.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I think it was just natural.
But I'm just kind of wondering why Poet Morning Sunned on the turn Calyrex's Trick Room.
Guess he just wanted.
He could have outright killed that thing.
Guess he just wanted the free health. I don't know either. But yeah, Ainskrad took the win. With the turn 29, Koraidon managed to beat through the Terra Normal Arceus through Reflect with Low Kick, which gained Ains an out, to beat Poet's Power Herb Eternatus and Zacian with a crit Behemoth Blade, and kill Koraidon to win the game. I guess that's the luck.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because it was through Reflect, through, what is it? Is it through Reflect, through Meteor Beam? He had only a Meteor Beam to do. Maybe he was doing Flamethrower, I guess. But, yeah, I think that was the point where the crit mattered. But, yeah. Next up, the only win in the Lapras's corner, Ziri beating Jawarabat. I cannot say that.
Ziri's too good.
I cannot say that name right. Jawabarat. I've said this literally every week.
Glad you're the one saying it before I do.
Jawabarat. Well, Jawabarat looked good early on, having his Iron Leaves set up against Rotom, and well, despite the burn, to deliver a kill on Tinkaton and Psycho Cutting Bramblegast for it to die by a poison. Ziri was playing mostly by the back foot. You'd think in this game that Jawabarat had the advantage, but no, Ziri was clearly playing better. It was just the Mons scene and the Mons, the disadvantage by a Mons wasn't a very good indicator because Ziri was definitely playing better. Beating Halucha with Rotom's Volt Switch and tricking Indidi's Scarf to Hydrapple before coming back with Koma'o's Terra Electric Dragon Dance combo with Sub to outplay Pinkerton's Memento at turn 21, and then Thunder punching the rest to win.
Yep.
Very good win, Ziri. Nothing much else to say. Let's move on now to Temp versus Fiend, where Fiend won.
Oh, brother.
The moment you say that, I'm like, oh, I'm reminded of what this game is. And yeah, things started promising for Temp, getting the Spadef drop on Volcanion with Shadow Ball on turn 3, then dodging Slitherwing's Stun Spores against Gligar shortly after it to Toxic it back and set up spikes, and even crit killing Cyclizar with Ice Beam at turn 12. Things were looking up and up for Temp. However...
yeah, he got really lucky at the beginning.
Yeah, that Ice Beam, he did even comment. That was the worst turn for that to happen.
Yeah, I based on the fact that it seemed to matter, it was Assault Vest Cyclizar for Fiend.
Yeah, and he had a lot of hazards, and he was planning to rapid spin them all off once Basket Legion was taken care of, but yeah. Unfortunate. But things started to favor for Fiend in literally the next turn 13. Jirachi hit the field and used Meteor Beam's Psychic Noise to kill a Cyclizar switch-in. Then Terra Dart to tank Basket Legion's Shadow Ball before killing that too. Which I thought was very interesting. Game was decided at turn 22, where Temp unfortunately sacked his Wincon Armarouge to a first impression Slitherwing, allowing Fiend to take over and beat Temp's Cobalion and Pheasantipity for the win.
Yeah, I gotta say, that was a little stupid.
Unfortunately so, yeah. It was kind of a dumb play to, sack the Armarouge at that point, but... Mons gotta be Mons. And the Pheasantipity and Cobalion lost. Fiend took the win. Moving on now to Shengineer versus Swinubfan. Shengineer keeps surprising in these NU games, I swear. Every time I predict against him, he seems to win.
And every time we predict for him, he seems to lose.
Which is only once. That was the one time, I think. Early turns were pretty notable. Flygon used Scale Shot to beat the Dragalge, and Diancie missed the Meteor Beam in order to die to Slowbro. Once Mienshao was taken care of by Bramblegast, Shengineer just had the game down. Bramblegast used Curse to neuter Magnezone, allowing Thundurus to come in and set up its Bulk Up substitute strat and Acrobatics to kill Magnezone and Zarina before Terra Watering for Alligator to beat Terra Poison Slowbro to win. I've never seen the Bulk Up sub Acrobatics strat on Thundy anymore, but hey, good done making it to return here.
Yeah, that was a cool game. It had some nice heat.
Yeah, some nice heat, and Shengineer definitely took the advantage out of Charm. Also playing with webs a lot. Very nice. SVPU was next. We got Fish Anemometer beating Big Tony.
Poor Tony.
Fish. Fish had this game locked because of his Terra Poison, competitive Milotic, which, you know, you kind of dismantled Tony with it. It was a slow game, but it was a pretty effective game. Knocking out the Belly Bolt, who was really only Tony's defensive pivot, because the rest, well, Screamtail and Colossal, but Belly Bolt was just kind of the defensive pivot that's holding the team together. Terra Ground Shaman was pretty interesting. It activated the competitive...
What I found interesting is that Shaman didn't seem to be max speed.
The Shaman?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know why it wasn't max speed. Maybe it just invested on the special attack.
Because it undersped the Bombardier.
Right.
And I don't think that Bombardier was Scarf, was it?
No. Must have been Boots.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
But yeah, it activated competitive a lot for Milotic, which kind of basically spelled the end for Big Tony, as Milotic just kind of walled it, stalled it, and walled it, ultimately winning slowly but effectively.
Well, yeah, unfortunate for Big Tony that he had to get fished in his first game. He put up a good fight.
He put up a good fight. It was just very unfortunate that he had to play against the Milotic. Alright, next up we got Greedy winning against the Polo Ariosto.
This was a good LC game, not gonna lie.
It was a good LC game. I would definitely agree.
This was really even for a while. It took 26 turns for a single Mon to die.
Yeah, well, there are a bit of unfortunate moments that happened with Greedy in this game. The crit fake out on turn 16, kind of unnecessary.
Onto what?
The Voltarb.
That's not a huge deal.
Well, there was also the high jump kick miss on turn 26.
Now that...
Yikes.
Yes. That mattered.
And
that was bad.
And there was also a crit earthquake that happened on turn 37. Which was against the Nimble. The Nimble.
Alright.
Yeah, there were unfortunate moments that worked against Greedy in this game, but still, Greedy, I'd say.
They were unfortunate, but most of them were not too detrimental.
Yeah, they didn't really
I'd say it was the high jump miss that was probably the worst of them.
It didn't really phase Greedy aside from the high jump kick miss. The Terra Psychic Voltarb Hisui was able to beat out the Terra Ice Gothita early on. And Nimble...
Yeah, that's pretty funny, because I feel that Voltorb can often be Terra Ice, and then the Gothita would be the one using Psychic, but... Well, not Terra Psychic, just normal Psychic, but
role reversal.
Kind of a bit of a role reversal there.
It's a good role reversal. But yeah. Nimble was just a very good revenge sweeper. Like its evolution Lokex being the best revenge sweeper in UU, Nimble, kind of a great revenge killer in LC. Just claiming half of the kills on Polo's team.
It's funny, almost no one really uses Nimble anymore.
And, you know, Nimble was very good. Nimble is a very good revenge killer. Definitely worth considering once you're building for teams. Especially when you take a look at the Greedy teams. And I know, it's frail. It's frail as frick, but I get it.
It's a little niche nowadays.
But, you know, when put in the right situation, Nimble can work. And Greedy put that theory to the test. Convincing why I should use Nimble. There it is. As he noted in his post. Penultimate game time. You got SMB losing to Penter. What?
Man, the Laprases won so many of those games on paper.
What? But what happened? Especially this game. What happened?
I think SMD just learned the lesson that I feel many doubles players learn sooner and later when they play modern Gen 9 doubles.
The power creep? The power creep has gotten to even the players?
Never underestimate Archaludon.
Archaludon, man. That man put in some work. But first off, Ninetales did put on some work early on, Aurora Veiling and killing Dragonite almost immediately. And then, although Terra Ghost King Gambit looked to be a prime threat, because, it was boosted, Sword Stand, Defiant, excuse me.
It's kind of funny how the King Gambit comes in and it's immediately at +3.
Yeah, because Defiant is such a big boy, just a big boy ability for it. Being Terra Ghost as well, being immune to fighting and all that, and it was also Grassy Seed, so plus defense. Yeah.
Yeah, on top of also having stamina.
Oh god, stamina too. But yeah, Archaludon. It was able to boost its iron defenses just enough to tank that Kowtow Cleave, and Pterodark Okidogi was able to knock off it to death, giving Penter that edge. And then Archaludon Snarl was able to negate Landorus damage very effectively, and body pressing both Rillaboom and Qianpao to death, while Incineroar and Kyurem provided good support, getting the final kill on the Landorus for the big Penter win.
Yeah, I feel like SMB played kind of weirdly when it came to his targeting.
Yeah, I really wasn't feeling like SMB was playing up to his full potential here.
Like, I get maybe wanting to save the Archaludon for last because it's not actively dealing a ton of damage. It's sort of just sitting there and dealing chip, but that you're not going to be able. It's going to get to a point where you're just not going to be able to beat it.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
And doesn't Sacred Sword from Qianpao ignore stat boosts?
Yes.
It was interesting to me that he didn't use that on Archaludon at all.
Yeah. I feel like if he targeted the Archaludon at first hand, he would have, at least had the advantage at that point, but no. Just relied on the King Gambit because it was boosted so much because of Defiant.
Yeah, I just feel like Penter had the better team into this matchup, but I feel like SMB didn't play this right.
Yeah, it was kind of a misplay for SMB at this point on. So, yeah, it was unfortunate, but hey, never underestimate the Archaludon. And finally, Azek versus Sasha. Turn 1. This was already decided by turn 1 because the crit Sludge Bomb onto Hatren.
Well, I mean, sure it crit, but that still would have done a pretty fair amount even without the crit, no?
Yeah. Especially because, if that Tentacruel was, boosted in special attack wise, he could have done significant damage on Hatren either way. It was just unfortunate that it was pulled into.
Yeah, you're hard switching in that thing without screens up. I'm pretty sure I know why he did it, but it is still a bit risky.
It is risky. It is very risky. Toxic Spikes.
Yeah, he wanted to bounce back the Toxic Spikes.
Yeah, Toxic Spikes were... I guess he didn't just expect the Switch Bomb.
It's not like Azek really had any fear of the Toxic Spikes being bounced back.
Yeah, because Tentacruel.
Because, he has Pelipper.
Pelipper could
he can just find an opportunity to get Pelipper in, get Tentacruel back in.
Yeah, just
In fact, he probably just figured the sooner this Ninetales is dead, the sooner he's rid of Auroravale.
which
So that's probably why he just straight up went for it.
Which Ninetales did put in the work by freeze drying most of Azek's team, including getting a crit on turn 5 and nearly killing off Swampert. Azek played his reign well. Barraskewda, very good revenge killer, breaking through Sasha's Aurora Veil attempts. Klefki getting naturally crit killed by Earthquake didn't help matters. And yeah, Sasha lost, Azek won.
Actually, from the way Azek just straight up led Tentacruel, he may have known that Ninetales was going to be the lead.
Right. He was going to set up the Aurora Veil.
Bro just planned on leading and sludge bombing right off the bat.
Bro was very committed. Okay.
So yeah, I have to agree with what Azek said at the end in response to the turn 1 crit.
Cope.
Oh
well.
You simply misplayed by expecting toxic spikes when, well, he knew you had a magic bounce Mon. Maybe he's big brain. Maybe he saw that coming. Maybe he thought, hey, what if they switch in their magic bounce Mon to bounce back them toxic spikes? Which even if they do, I'm not really scared of that.
Yeah. All in all, very, very favorable matchup by Azek. Nothing much Sasha could do after that turn 1. Alright.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright. Do you have time now to look at the record sheet and see what our teams are like?
What do you mean by that?
So, sorry for the screen crunch, but it's fine. We got the Phantom Trout leading with 3 wins and 1 tie with 8 points. We got the Rufflets in 2nd place, the Pangoros in 3rd place, and the Laxus in 4th as of the moment.
Aye, the sheet's wrong.
The sheet's wrong? Rip.
Yeah, there is a couple of mistakes. The sheet acts like the trope beat us. They did not.
They tied.
It shows tie. However, the point total disagrees.
Oh, the point totals are wrong as well?
The trope should have 7, not 8. We should have 6, not 5.
Oh, I think the parentheses are the points. Oops.
That's the differential. Oopsie.
The differential. we read that wrong. 7 points for the Trout, 6 points for the Rufflets. And the Pangoros and the Laxus are 5th and 4th, but the Laxus are also tied with the Dirges, also at 4 points. Then comes the Lures, then comes the Stuffles, and then finally the Laprases. Wow, my top 2 teams are at the bottom too. Rip old heads.
Didn't a fair amount of people put the Stuffles and Laprases kind of low?
Yeah, and I was the one who only put them at high. I was the one who put them at high. I was wrong. Dead wrong. Got it backwards. Alright.
You ranked the Rufflets high though, right?
Yeah, I did rank them 3rd. Which I got right. I'm technically right. I would predicted that they would make top cut. So was the Laxus.
So far, it's looking like, So far, it's looking like, I'd say us and the Trope, odds are we're making it to playoffs.
Yes.
The Pangoros look good.
Yes.
They have 2 wins, which is better than most of the other teams.
Yes. Laxus look good. Laxus and Dirges, I feel, are kind of close. Because both are at 4 points right now.
Yeah, they are close. It's funny. The Dirges actually have a worse differential than the Laxus.
Yeah. By a difference of 2. But, you know, things could change in the, the last 3 weeks to see if that difference would play very, very crucially. I don't think the Laprases are going to make it. The Stuffles and the Lures.
Oh, for sure not.
The Stuffles and the Lures, maybe if they get good wins, especially if the Laxes and the Goros and the Dirges lose. They have a low chance, but I think they might try, especially when it comes to what they have coming up in the last 3 weeks. So let's see. Let's see what happens, and if you're one of these teams, let's pull for your team. All right, who wins predicts?
You did. You got the best predicts of the week.
Yay, out of everyone?
And they were still under 50%.
God damn it! We sucked!
Yeah, allow me to tell you your score.
Which is?
Everyone sucked last week.
Yeah, because there was a lot of upsets.
Your score is... Oh, I never wrote down the score. Well, that's okay, because it's pretty easy to find out. I just needed to highlight all the... Yep, okay, there it is. You scored 19 out of 40.
That's not even 20. I didn't even
I did say you scored under half, didn't I?
Yeah, I scored 1 under half, thanks.
And that was the least under half of anyone this week.
Yeah. Thank God I did the best. I was disagreeing a lot with you a lot more. And sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. And you got...
I don't want to say.
You got...
No.
You got...
No.
You got...
What's important is that you won.
She doesn't want to admit, but she did really bad. Okay. Well, since you don't want to say your score, let's move on to week 5 predicts and let this video end.
And then I can eat dinner. Hooray!
Yeah, I can eat as well. Alright. Week 5 predicts. Let's go. First off, we got Phantom Trout versus Lore Society. Crucial week for the Lores. Like, they need a big win. The Trout are sitting comfortably. I think they're guaranteed playoffs. But, you know, a couple more good wins.
I think, yeah, they probably are by this point. But if they win this week, they're just straight up guaranteed, no room for doubt.
Yeah, the Lores need to win here. If they want to make playoffs, the Lores better start winning, and this is the week to do it. Against the number 1 team. Well, I think they can make it. Let's see these matchups, okay? First off, we got SVOU. We got 3D versus Tier. This didn't happen, thankfully, because 3 of you OU players, you played so early.
Well, apparently VK also kind of wanted to play early, but I guess not quite as early.
Okay, so yeah, SVOU, we got 3D versus Tier Acid. Oh, yeah, this one shouldn't be that hard, IMO. 3D has been performing better in this year than most other years. Meanwhile, Tier, not exactly the highest on.
Sounds like we're both going for 3D.
3D it is. Alright, next up we got the other OU game, Botsy versus Trogba. Curious matchup, and Trogba finally making OU, finally, a tier that he's kind of known for, been established as a very good OU player. Then again, he's facing another really good OU player in Botsy. So, I think this should be pretty... my betting man instincts want me to say Trogba, but I think I'm going to go with my heart and go with Botsy.
I'm also going with Botsy.
SB Ubers, a highlight match. 7U992 versus Ice Master. My god, this looks very, very good. Both players look good. I think Ice Master's record is what? 3-1?
Let's see.
Is he 3-1?
Might be. Let's see. Lost in week 1 to Richard, 1 to FC, 1 to Ainscrad, 1 to Sk. Yeah, 3-1.
Oh, wow. 79-2 and Ice actually have the same records.
Oh, that makes this game even better.
That's interesting.
They both lost to the same person.
Oh, yeah, both lost to Richard. That's right. Boys, this looks to be like the highlight, and I think I'm gonna go betting man. I think I'm going Ice Master. It might be heresy to bid against the Uber Circuit champion, but I think Ice has got it. I think Ice has the tools, and I think Ice is much more favored here than a lot of people might think.
You say heresy, yet I'm in agreement.
Well, you like Ice Master. Ice Master is a friend of ours, so of course we're gonna favor Ice Master.
Okay, that's true. It is a little hard for me to bold against Ice Master usually.
But yeah, Ice Master I think should win. Betting Man Instincts or not, I think Ice Master.
Also, I happen to know that 7U9I2 has not actually played in a ton of Uber's tours since the circuit.
That could be crucial for 7U9I2.
And the circuit was DLC 1 Ubers.
Then again, boy is still very good at Ubers. I mean, look, he's 3-1. He's 3-1 currently.
Yeah, that is true. But I feel like Ice Master can cook more.
Yeah, I think Ice Master is gonna cook more. I feel like he's got that special ingredient in him that will.
Which is ice.
Ice cubes. Don't wait a minute. That might be a reveal. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
No way, did I just reveal he's bringing Calyrex Ice Rider?
Oh, God.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know what the hell he's bringing. I'm not in the server.
Yeah, I'm not even the server either. I don't know.
It'd be funny if he does end up bringing that, though.
He was bringing it out of spite. SVUU, we got Riche versus TMM. Finally, TMM. Finally, he's playing.
Yes! There he is!
Finally!
The guy who should have been with us!
Yeah, the guy who should have played since week 1, god damn it! Yeah. My boy TMM.
Who was in their slot beforehand? Oh, right, Trogba.
Trogba, yeah. Friggin' finally, TMM. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. If the lures decide to bring the big guns, especially for this week, they better start bringing the big guns. TMM is a big boy gun. Big boy gun. He's ready to gun down. He's ready to play against Riche. And I think he's gonna win. I'm voting TMM.
I'm kind of torn, to be honest, because I know how TMM does often depends on how well prepped he is.
I agree.
He was able to do pretty well last year because I provide him with very lengthy and detailed scouts.
And he used it to
which allowed him to build well. And well, he hasn't played at all this tour yet.
I can tell. I don't know. I don't know anything, but I feel like TMM can cook. Let him cook. Let him simmer here. Let him see.
I feel like I'm gonna be wrong about this, but I guess I'll also go TMM.
Okay. Well, you can never go.
I feel like I'm gonna be wrong about that, though. Please win, TMM.
Please cook. I want to see that cook. I just want to see that fresh meal that you're preparing. All right. SVRU, we got Just Franco versus Ampha. Ampha kind
Franco.
I was gonna say Ampha kind of surprised in this tour. Like, I think his record is what? Oh, it's 2-2. But beating friggin'
Yes. He beat. I think he beat Arsenine.
And Fiend.
And what?
Fiend. He beat Fiend as well in week 3.
Right, he beat Arsenine and Fiend and lost to Fellyburn and Memedos.
That's an up and down situation. I've never heard one.
I agree.
But yeah, I think Franco, much better. I think Franco's got this RU down.
Much more consistent. I think Franco is undefeated. No, he's not. He lost to Arcanine.
Yeah, he lost to Arcanine. That's a sentence. That's a sentence out of your mouth in BLT. Yeah. So, Franco to win. Yeah, 100% Franco to win. There's no doubt in my mind that he's gonna win. But yeah, that's a funny sentence. Alright, next up, we got SVNU. We got Danny versus Stories. A very,
Oh my goodness.
intriguing match. I think this will decide. I'm gonna be a hot take. I think this will decide the swinging of the pendulum, as so to speak. Who will be favored?
I think Danny's 2-2, right?
Danny is currently 2-2. Yes.
And Stories is 3-1.
Stories is currently 3-1. Yes.
I think I'll go with Stories, but I wouldn't be surprised if Danny won.
I'm gonna go with Danny on this one. I feel like Danny's gonna cook more than Stories. Now, granted, Stories did have the good win over Wadley. However, against Danny, I feel like Danny is just a tier above Stories. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Danny on this one.
Normally, I'd say you're right in saying Danny is a tier above Stories, but I mean, Stories is clearly performing better this tour.
Which is good. I wouldn't be surprised if Stories wins.
I think they might be a little more in tune with the current meta than Danny.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. I think Danny's much more consistent, but then again, he's 2-2, so. But I think he's a much better player here. Next up, we got Lost Memories versus Floor in PU.
Huh. Can anyone explain to me why Floor's in PU now?
I guess Quinn wanted to play LC.
Okay, but did they not have anyone else for PU?
Guess not. Yeah, V2 and Real OBR yet still to play.
Damn, they really didn't want those guys to play, huh?
Rip. Okay, so Lost Memories. I think the game they performed in, they lost. Yeah, they lost to Blood Ace out of a weird play that they made. So I'm not so terribly confident in Lost Memories taking this, so I think I'm gonna go with Floor.
Okay, understandable, but I'm actually gonna go with Lost Memories on this.
Okay, fair enough. They do seem to be more in tune with the meta than Floor, just changing from LC to PU. But I still think Floor's gonna adapt better.
I can tell Lost Memories can be pretty good. They just seem a little careless sometimes.
Which is crucial. Well, actually, no, he can rest easy. But, for consistency's sake, you should be able to play better here. Next up...
Yeah, I don't know if I really trust Floor in PU.
I do.
LC is a meta that I think anyone can pick up, and I feel like Floor probably played it a fair amount during quals, since I feel a lot of Tours regs play it, and I feel like Floor talked about facing all those Tours regs and usually winning without hacks, but often complaining that he got hacked by them a lot.
Don't play if you're getting hacked a lot, jeez. Yeah.
Well, you can't really help that during quals now, can you?
I know. I'm just waffling. But yeah, Floor.
Yes, you are.
But yeah, Floor. Next up, SVLC, we got Starzamon versus Quinn.
Okay, so one of them is undefeated. The other is not.
Yeah.
I think the other is winless.
So yeah, we're voting Quinn, right?
Well, let's see. Starzama 1, Starzama 1, Starzama 1, Starzama... Yeah, Starzama is 4-0.
Brick
and Quinn
is 0-2.
Lost Elfison.
0-2.
Possibly he lost to Greedy.
Oh, 3. 0-3. Yikes. Okay.
Yikes. So one is undefeated, the other is winless.
Winless versus lossless. Let's go with the lossless. Yeah, Starzama. Starzama. Breakout LC player of this tour, bar none. Next up we got Aragon versus Railgun. Now, this would be a highlight match if their records were better.
What are their records currently? Has Aragon won a game yet?
Aragon has won 1 game. 1.
Right, versus Penter, then lost, and lost, and lost.
1-3, Christ. Luisin is 2-2 currently, and I feel like his wins are better.
1, lost. Yeah.
Even the win that Aragon had against Penter, I feel like he could have lost that. So, yeah, ideally this would be a good highlight match, but again, the records are sucky as frick. So, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go with Railgun. Sorry, Aragon.
No, I think that's fine because this is a hype match, you know.
I'm just wondering. I just hope the game goes well. I hope the game goes well for both of them.
No. But yeah, Aragon's been choking like crazy lately.
Yeah, he's not had a good BLT.
And Railgun,
not much.
Well, not as much. No.
Yeah, not much better. But he did have pick up a wins against Loudwinner and Akaru Kokyo, but that's it. All right, next up we have Royal Reloaded versus Siphicon in Monotype. Royal Reloaded has had quite the interesting BLT so far. Currently 3-1, losing only to Azek. Siphicon.
And Azek is Azek, so that's very understandable.
Yeah, but yeah, Royal Reloaded is a kind of an interesting thing, beating Mata, beating Twinkie, and then beating Dunox. So Siphicon is 2-2 currently. Both pretty good. Both pretty good mono players. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, Royal Reloaded has the better record, so vote for him, right? Well, no.
I think he's just the better player too. Yes.
So are you going with Royal?
Yes.
I'm going Siphicon. I feel like people are gonna underestimate Siphie a little here, so I think we're in for a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Next up, the Snowbell Stuffles, who are currently at 7th, versus the Resort City Rufflets, who are currently at 2nd. Man, I feel like this would have been a friggin' hype matchup if the Stuffles hadn't had such a pretty meh season.
Well, hey, we got some hype matchups in here.
There are some pretty hype matchups, but yeah, I feel like they could have been better, you know? I feel like there could have been better hype matchups. First off, SVOU, we got Maverick Shooters versus TNT, which happened.
And I asked what you predicted for this not too long before it happened, actually. Because I knew Maverick planned on playing before we were going to record.
Yeah, I think, and yeah, I did say TDNT was gonna win, but so I'll take the L on this one.
He was originally scheduled to play at 1 p.m. my time today. However, he played 2.5 hours early.
I was going for TDNT simply because I've seen better from them than Mav, but yeah, Maverick just ended up winning.
Yeah, in a game that I didn't think he would win when actually watching it. I'm like, wait, how the hell did he win? And then I see, I'm like, oh.
Oh.
Huh.
We'll talk about that.
That was kind of a, I don't know.
Game of all time.
I didn't realize we were actually going to win that when watching the game itself.
Well, we'll review that next week, along with the other games that happened today. SVOU, we got Career Ended versus VK. Should be an interesting matchup. What are the records? What the frick?
Well, Career Ended played UU for the first 2 weeks, so... Yeah. Lost to Drew in UU, lost to Trogba in UU, beat Sturreal in OU, lost to Mimic... Oh, he's 1 in 3.
And VK is sitting pretty at 1-1. Yeah. Just from seeing both of them, I feel like VK is much more favored. Because I think the more traditionalist OU main in me says that, yeah, I think VK is better. Although people are gonna predict, I think people are gonna predict for Career Ended regardless, but yeah, I think I'm thinking VK.
Good.
SV Ubers, we got FC versus Richard Millie Plain, and Richard is currently 4-0. This man is on
he's the only undefeated Ubers main right now, I think.
This man is...
wait, Lassen.
Lassen. But that's different. That's 2-0, Lassen. Richard's been playing every week.
That is true.
For the FC is currently at 2-2, beating Skyu and Terracotta, losing to Ice Master and Layson. FC has had kind of a mid BLT so far. Richard's tearing, though. Richard's on a tear, and I feel like that isn't going to stop anytime soon. So yeah, betting man in me, but I'm going to go with Richard. Because normally I would have predicted
Thank you for your support.
I mean, normally I would have predicted for FC, but yeah, I think Richard's got this. He's on a tear right now, so I don't think it will stop. Next up, we got Udon Girl versus Piyush in UU.
I think I already know what you're gonna say.
I feel awful predicting against Udon Girl, but Udon Girl is currently 0-2 and hasn't been performing to the level of what we've seen in previous years. That is not good for the Staffles. Meanwhile, Piyush has been the Mainer Slayer, has been doing pretty well for himself, being 3-1. Beating Enzo Nana, beating Thiago Nunez, beating Mimi Lucha and UU. And I think he's going to have an easy time here. I think Piyush is going to win.
Thank you.
Next up, SVRU. We got Lime versus the Franklin. If you tell me at the start of this BLT that Lime would have the better record between these two, I would have laughed my ass off. But here we are, 4 weeks later, and my God, Lime has the better record.
Yes, he does.
3-0 Lime against a 1-3 Ars9.
So, who are you picking?
Do I dare go against Ars9 in favor of the Lime?
I don't know. What do your betting man instincts say?
My betting man instincts? No, PokeArt. The betting man instincts tell me to go for Ars9.
Oh.
But you know, Ars9 hasn't been doing well. Lime has been doing pretty well for himself in RU. I'm going Lime. I'm sorry.
Never thought you'd see the day where you'd be predicting Lime over Arsenine, did ya?
Oh, God. It's just the nature, man. It's just the nature of this tour. Things can immediately change on a dime, and yes, I am going for Lime to beat Ars9. What the fricks? What the fricks happened with me? This tour has ruined Ars9, unfortunately. Remember when RX9 went 8-0 in the BLT once?
Yeah.
SVNU. Ming versus Wadley. Ming has been doing okay for himself in NU ever since he was brought on last week. However, he's facing Wadley. And Wadley has had a setback. And it was not a very good setback. But I think it bounced back. Wadley to win.
Thank you. Noticing you've predicted us to win in every single match so far.
Exactly.
Except for the one that we actually already won in.
That's exactly it, Pokeyard. I wanted to predict for the Stuffles, but they're sucking. What the frick? SVPU. It's not going to be better. Especially with SVPU, we got Sufis versus TGA. No, I don't think Sufis is going to win. It was originally going to be, what, Hellray, I think? Oh, no. Yeah, it was originally going to be Hellray versus TGA, which I would have predicted Hellray in a heartbeat, but they put in Sufis. Wow. Yeah. TGA. Put in TGA, man.
Honestly, understandable that you'd predict Hellray over TGA, because Hellray's been doing quite good.
Yeah, he did well for himself in these past 2 weeks, and I was hoping to see more of that, but no. Sufi's subbed in, and unfortunately, that amounts to another Rufflets win. What the frick, Pokeyard?
So basically, you're predicting us to go, 7-0 so far.
God damn it. It's not going to be better. It's not. Your lead's going to extend, especially with this next game. Bleehay versus Elfuzon. Elfuzon. Despite Bleehay getting the win over Hacker, I mean, and Elfuzon losing.
I think Bleehay might actually have the better record, believe it or not.
What the fuck? 2-2, and Bleehay is 2-2. No, they're both the same.
Oh yeah, huh? Same record.
Same record, but I think Elfuzon wins. My God, how do you predict How do you predict against Elfuzon, especially when you're Bleehay? Oh well, SVDOU. Okay, Akuru Kokyo versus Sundays.
This is gonna be the first time you're predicting against us, isn't it?
Yeah. Curious. I'm curious to see how Sundays does against, especially in the stacked ass DOU pool. But yeah, Akuru has been, he's doing all right for himself. Not great, not horrible, but just doing okay. Going for Akuru here. And SV Monotype.
Oh, okay.
SV Monotype, we got 10% versus Dunox. Highlight. I would say sleeper highlight. Because both players are pretty good. Both have, I want to say good records. Let's see. 10% is 2-0.
No, Dunox does not have a good record.
Dunox is sucking at 1-3. Yikes. But
look, he got unlucky, very unlucky in at least 2 of those games, though.
Yeah. But Dunox is a proven monotype good, solid main. 10%, 2-0, and did very well for himself in these 2 games. So this is a sleeper highlight, but I will gonna go for 10%. As much as I want to go for Dunox, I have to bet it. I have to bet for 10% here.
Yeah, because you're very high on 10%. I know this.
Very high on 10%, and I'll keep being that. He's doing well for himself, Pokeyard. I have to be. Alright, back to us predicting. Lavender Laprases versus Flame Slinger Skeledurges. Laprases, I'm sorry, but your team has not been performing the best, and that 1-9 kind of sealed the deal for you.
Whoever said the Laprases is made of old heads who will flop, I don't know. That's looking pretty accurate now.
They're right. They're right, 100%. And the Dirges, well, they're starting off strong right now, but hopefully they'll keep up this momentum as if they want to make the playoffs. Starting off first with SVOU, JJ versus Thiago, which JJ won.
And we would have predicted that anyways, right?
Yeah, I think JJ. As much as I wanted to go for Thiago, I think JJ's much better. Next up, SVOU, we got Sterile versus Avarice. Curious matchup. I'm genuinely curious to see how this will go. Sterile is the more consistent OU main. Meanwhile, we've seen Avarice cook. We have seen Avarice cook hard. And that last week against Enzo, I think it's proven for himself. I think I'm gonna go with Sterile though. As much as I want to say Avarice. As much as I want to say Avarice, I think Sterile has this. SV Ubers, we got Pote versus Geomancy. First time we're seeing Geomancy in Ubers. Pote.
Second time period.
Yeah, Pote. Good luck. You're facing a good Ubers player. Geomancy to win.
Yeah, same.
Ziri versus Drew is next in UU.
Ziri.
Oh my god. I was gonna say, this is a highlight match. Okay, alright. This is a highlight match and a half.
Agreed, but Ziri is Ziri. One does not simply beat Ziri.
Yeah, Ziri.
Unless you're Mimi Lucha and you crit twice and win.
Don't drink Ziri again, Poker. Now that you say that, my god, Poker. If Ziri finds about this, I swear. Yeah, Ziri to win. Ziri has been the more consistent player, but don't expect Drew to go down that easily. I think Drew will definitely take him to a good fight.
Okay.
SVRU, we got Temp versus Fellyburn. Well. This one's gonna be close. Both players are middling right now, I want to say. Lap versus, let's see, Temp's record 1-2. Okay, not very good. And Fellyburn is 1-2 as well. Not very good. Not very good records, but hey, both are experienced enough in the RU meta to be doing this well. So let's see. I think I'm gonna go with Temp. As much as Fellyburn may seem to be like the predicted choice, I feel like Temp's build is gonna be much better.
Yeah, but I do feel like Fellyburn has just been performing better generally.
Despite them having the same record?
Yes, I mean in matches.
Okay. I will not. I won't disagree with that. SVNU, we got Swineup Fan versus Acrotix.
Ooh.
Another very curious matchup between two negative recorded players. Acrotix. Oh no, Acrotix is 2-2. And our man's
1 loss. Oh.
1-3.
Yeah, Team Charm's 1-3.
Yikes, Team Charm. What happened? Well, Acrotix does have the better record, but I think I'm gonna go Team Charm. I feel like there's a Team. I feel like there's a Team Charm sweep coming.
Interesting. I'm going for Acrotix though.
That's fair. Acrotix does have the better record. I feel like Charm's gonna outplay. SVPU, we got Terracotta versus Blood Ace.
Huh.
Curious matchup.
Why is Terracotta in PU?
I think he's played a fair bit of PU. It's not just that Ubers guy. I don't know. But I think I'm going Blood Ace.
Me too, because I've never I haven't seen how Terracotta does in PU, and I know Blood Ace actually plays it.
Yeah, Blood Ace has been more consistent. He's been put into the PU meta a little bit more, so I think he's got enough experience enough to beat Terracotta. So we'll see.
Now here's an even weirder matchup next.
SVLC, we got Novax versus Ryuskin. Another very curious matchup, this one. I think this is the first time we're both seeing both in this meta. I think, man, I know Novax is known for LC, and Ryuskin, I've never seen them play other than something, another tier. Then we go Novax. I feel like I've seen more of Novax in LC.
Ryosoken actually plays a fair bit of it too. I think that might have been where they got most of their points from during quals. Let me check.
What?
4 points in LC. Never mind.
Never mind. All right, go Novax.
I'm not high on Novax at all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryosoken wins, but okay, I'll go Novax.
Okay, at least we're agreeing on this one because it's a very curious matchup. It's not exactly a weird matchup, it's just very curious. I'm interested to see how these two will perform. Alright. SVDOU. SMB versus Exotic. Exotic has been known to surprise a lot of people, especially with good wins against, very notable players like Velvet, like Luisin. SMB, though, is a world ender. He's been highly regarded as one of the best doubles players of all time. The Willy win. The betting man in me wants to go for Exotic. The betting man in me really seriously wants to go for Exotic.
Will you go with your betting man instincts?
I would think I would go with my traditional heart and go SMB.
I'm going Exotic.
Oh my god, PokeArt's the betting man! Oh!
Look, they've been seriously impressive in the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
he clearly preps very well.
They are surprising us all with some good, old-fashioned wins, which is nice. Very, very nice. Could be a good breakout star, but yeah, thinking SMB. All right, SP Monotype. We got Sasha versus Twinkie. Let's see their records. Sasha is 1 and 2.
I don't think either of them have good records.
Sasha's 1 and 2, and Twinkie is 1 and 3. Negatives for both. I'm
going Sasha.
Honestly, I think I'm going Twinkie. I think I've seen better from Felines than I've seen better from Sasha.
I feel like Sasha's been better lately, but okay.
Okay, if you say so. Goros versus Laxes, the last matchup. Now, these two are comfortably in 3rd and 4th. Now, if the Laxes win, they are moving up a rank. If the Goros win, they might be sitting comfortably at 3rd. But if they do have another dominant win, they might overtake you guys as 2nd. Let's see if they can pull off another 9-0. 9-1. Sorry. Sorry. Alright, SVOU, we got Bleth versus Ineffable.
Huh.
Curious matchup. Very curious matchup, this one. Ineffable in OU seems interesting. Bleth did have that lucky win over Stariel. But I think their experience is much better than, say, Ineffable. So I think I'm going to go with Bleth.
Me too.
The other OU matchup, we got Suzuya versus Mimikyu Stardust, which happened.
I would have gone Suzuya personally.
Well, I'll take the L. I'll take the L and go because I went for Mimikyu Stardust. So I'll take the L. I just thought
Susie was the better player between them, to be honest.
I personally thought Mimikyu Stardust was the better player of the two, but okay. I'll take the L. I'll take the gracious L. I like you.
The L is yours.
SV Ubers. We got Ainscrad versus Layson. Should be a fun one. Should be a hot one. Should be hot and spicy. Both players have been doing good this BLT. Not gonna deny that. Oros are currently what? Ainscrad is 1 and 2. Oh shit. And Layson is 2 and 0.
And Layson is 2 and 0.
Whoa. Yeah, out of the two, I'm gonna say Layson. I feel like Layson is the better player than Ainscrad, and yeah. There should be no room for doubt for me for Layson to win.
I agree with going for Layson, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ainscrad wins. Because Layson's been using some, well, he's only used cheese so far.
It works. It works for everyone. SVUU, we got Jawa Barat versus Mimi Lucha.
Ooh.
This one's a curious one. This one's a very curious matchup. What are the records? Let's see. Mimi Lucha is 3 and 1. And Jawa Barat is currently 2 and 2.
Do we have to check the records for everyone for every match?
Well, not every match. I'm just very interested in seeing. Well, for these ones are gonna be close. Okay, these ones are gonna be very close.
So hungry.
Jawa Barat is good, but I think Mimi Lucha has been proving better ever since that week 1 lucky win. I feel like Mimi Lucha's been doing more consistently, and I feel like Mimi Lucha's gonna be that steal player. Mimi Lucha to win.
Okay.
SVRU, we got Fiend versus Crying. Oh, this one should be good. This one should be very, very good. While Crying being put in RU is interesting, it's not uncommon, as Crying has been known to slay in every tier she can be put in. Meanwhile, Fiend, they're established RU main, so it's gonna be a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with Fiend. As a traditionalist, I am going with Fiend, but I won't be surprised if Crying wins.
Huh. I'm actually going Fiend too.
Okay. It's uncommon for us to bet against Crying, but it is RU, and and they are facing a pretty experienced RU main, so. SVNU, we got Skier Dude versus Shinjineer. This one's a very curious matchup. Both players have been doing good in NU. Both players have been proving themselves to be quite the thing. As much as I want to predict against Shinjineer, I have to predict for Shinjineer.
Interesting.
I think Shinjineer has been doing better. Ever since I started predicting against them, they've been doing real well. So, not to say that Skier Dude is bad, though. Skier Dude has been pulling off wins themselves, and very convincingly as well, but I think Shinjineer's just better.
You know what? Since I'm honestly not too sure myself, I'll just agree with you and go Shinjineer.
SVPU, the highlight of all PU matches. Fish, Animameter versus Druid. I'm very, very excited on how this one's going to turn out. Both players have been outstanding in PU. Fish, though, was undefeated.
I think outstanding is a bit of an overstatement.
Well, they've been doing real well, okay? They've been doing
It's not an overstatement for Fish. I think it's an overstatement for Druid.
Wow, you're really underestimating Druid there. But yeah.
Well, he only beat TGA thanks to a poison, and he did just lose last week.
Wow. Still salty about that, huh?
What? That's the only reason he won.
I know, but you're still salty that he got off the poison. That hacks cost TGA that game. Okay, fine.
Arguably costed us the week too, but like, my point is, he would not be 3-1 if not for that.
Still salty. Fish, I think is
super well. So I'm just talking about his overall performance here, Mikoi.
Well, Fish is 4-0, I think.
Yes, he is.
Man's gonna extend that winning streak. I think I'm going Fish.
See, now that is what you call outstanding.
Yeah, that Fish has been outstanding. Like, best PU player in the pool. Very, very well received. And yeah, keep going. Next up, Greedy versus Hacker. Man, both players lost last week. Oh no, Greedy won. Hacker lost. That's a statement.
Isn't it like 1-3 or something?
Are you serious? That can't be right.
I'm not sure.
That cannot be right. Let's see.
1 lost, 1. Oh, he's 2-2, I guess.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, he's 2-2.
Good. And Goro's
1-1.
2-1.
And Greedy is 2-1.
Wow,
yeah.
Greedy having the positive record of the two. All right. But performance-wise, I think I'm going Hacker. I think Hacker has been doing much better. And, yeah. Out of the two, I would go more for Hacker. SVDOU, we got Penta versus Iwanatago. So,
Arguably the two dark horses.
Yeah. Out of the sea of the doubles players, these two have been proving themselves to be kind of the unsung heroes of DOU. They're making this pool stacked as frick.
Yeah, like these two are definitely the two underdogs that no one expected to perform well, but they're both not doing half bad at all. Yeah, well, actually, let's see. 1, 2. Oh. Atago's only played twice. They are 1-1.
Panter's 3-1. Panther.
Yeah, you're right. Goodness.
Panther is 3-1, which is very, very good. And yeah, I think that win streak is gonna earn Panther some more cred. I think I'm going Panther on this one.
Okay. Well, get ready to hear what I'm about to say.
Oh no!
I'm going cheese.
Is he going to cheese though?
I'm going cheese.
She believes in the cheese. She believes too much in the cheese. Okay.
I think Cheese got this. I think Cheese has this.
Oh man. And you say I'm the betting man. That's a betting woman instinct. Alright.
Look, I know Cheese. After that win versus Akaru with that unique build, well,
he's gonna cook more.
I feel Cheese is about to pick up more steam.
Oh, he's gonna cook. Oh no, he's gonna cook.
He's gonna cook. And Penter's on the menu.
And cheese is the food, and yet Penter's on the menu. Cheese better cook.
Yep.
SV Monotype, Isaac versus Mata. Do I even have to say it?
I don't think we ever have to say it. There's an unsaid rule that you don't bold against Isaac in mono.
No one bets against Isaac. Isaac to absolutely slay the competition. Best mono player in the pool, 4-0 currently, and he's gonna do it again. Alright.
Yep.
Alright, now that brings us to the end of this long video. Once again, until we are done for 2 more weeks. We're done for 2 more weeks. These videos are gonna be long as frick. Sorry, but that's just the nature of these things. Especially when no one has been dead gaming. Oh god, now that I've said that, now everyone's gonna dead game. Fuck. Alright.
Nah, I think the weeks still matter enough that everyone plays.
Good. Everyone should play. And by that I mean fuck, because that means more time for me to suck the weekends away. Alright, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you won't miss a video once it comes out. Next week, we're going to be tackling some more Week 5 recap and Week 6 predicts. Can't wait to see how this week turns out, huh? Right?
Yep.
All right.
Also, guess what, Mikoi?
Uh-oh.
Apparently, only you, me, and Stereal did predict this week. No Sign of Fragments predicts.
Uh-oh. Well, that's a sign.
But guess what Stereal predicted for Penta versus Cheese?
Did he actually?
He predicted cheese.
Oh my god, this man!
It seems you are the odd man out,
Oh
Mikoi.
my god! That's surprising. Alright! Thank you all for watching this video. I'm gonna go cry in the corner if Penta loses. And yeah, see you all next week when we talk about Week 5 recap and Week 6 predicts. This has been McCoy, signing out.
Farewell.